Dear brothers and sisters, it is with great joy that I address you at this very special moment. May the peace of God be upon each one of us as we gather in prayer, seeking urgent miracles and swift answers in our lives. I feel a deep calling for us to unite in faith, crying out to the Lord for divine intervention in our circumstances. God, in His infinite goodness, invites us to cast all our anxieties and concerns upon Him. He tells us in His word that where two or more are gathered, there He will be. Therefore, in this act of faith, let us fervently seek His presence. May each heart present here feel the assurance that God is hearing our supplications and that He is capable of doing the impossible. Reflecting on what the Bible teaches us, we find a powerful reminder in Philippians 4:6-7. We should not worry about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, we should present our needs to God. The Lord promises that the peace that surpasses all understanding will guard our hearts and minds. This is a promise that gives us hope and confidence even in the darkest hours. In our daily lives, we face challenges that seem insurmountable. Sometimes illness, lack of resources, or family problems make us feel helpless. However, when we turn to God in prayer, He becomes our refuge and strength. The difficulties may be great, but the greatness of our God is even greater. Let us remember that God's answers may not come in our own timing, but He always responds. Often the miracles we seek may manifest in unexpected ways through people or circumstances we did not imagine. Therefore, let us keep our eyes open and our hearts receptive to God's action. Faith is an essential element in our spiritual journey. Each of us needs to cultivate this trust in God so that we may see His hand at work in our lives. As we unite in prayer, let our voices rise in a sincere cry for help and direction. May the assurance that God is with us encourage us to persevere. We are about to enter a time of fervent prayer, where each one can present their petitions to the Lord. May this experience be transformative, and may we feel God's presence in every word and in every heart. God is ready to act, and we too must be ready to receive His blessings. Beloved, at this moment, I invite each of you to open your hearts and allow God's presence to enter your lives. He is a loving Father who cares deeply for each one of us. When we cry out to Him for help, He hears our voices and knows our needs even before we express them. It is an invitation to fully trust in His wisdom and perfect timing. When we face situations that seem unsolvable, let us remember that God has the power to transform any circumstance. In Jeremiah 33:3, we are encouraged to call to Him, for He will answer us and reveal great and hidden things. It is in this place of surrender that we find true strength. May we throw ourselves into His arms, knowing that He is already in control of everything. Prayer is a powerful tool that connects us to God in an intimate way. It is through prayer that we express our longings and seek His guidance. As we pray, we set aside our worries and open ourselves to receive His peace. May each of us remember what is written in Psalm 55:22. Cast your burden on the Lord, and He will sustain you. This is a promise that encourages us to release our burdens and trust in His provision. It is essential that as we pray, we keep our hearts open to hear God's voice. Often the answers we seek come accompanied by guidance and peace that exceed our expectations. The Lord not only hears our supplications, but also guides us along our way. May we be attentive to the small directions He gives us in the midst of our difficulties. Sometimes discouragement may try to pull us away from prayer. However, it is precisely in those moments that we should draw even closer to God. He promised never to leave us alone. In Matthew 11:28, He invites us to come to Him when we are weary and burdened. May we be bold in bringing our struggles and frustrations, knowing that He is our safe harbor. As we unite in prayer, let us remember the importance of gratitude. Gratitude opens doors to more blessings and helps us see the wonders that are already happening in our lives. As we express our gratitude, we invoke God's power to act in our situations. May our hearts be filled with praise even before we see the answers we desire. Faith is an act of courage, and today we are called to take firm steps in that direction. We must not allow fear or doubt to hinder us from seeking God's intervention. In Hebrews 11:1, we find the definition of faith: the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. May we cling to this assurance, trusting that even without seeing, God is working in our favor. In this moment of prayer, may each one present their needs and desires to the Lord. May our supplications be sincere and full of expectation. As we do this, we align our lives with God's will and open ourselves to His promises. May we feel His enveloping presence in every word spoken, knowing that He is attentive to every cry. Let us continue to seek God fervently, for He is our hope and our strength. We are together on this journey, and as we pray, may the assurance that the Lord is with us bring peace to our hearts. May each of us experience the transformation that comes from handing our worries over to Him, confident that His plans are always for our good. The habit of prayer should not be seen merely as an obligation, but as a privilege that brings us closer to the Creator. Setting aside daily moments for communication with God is essential to strengthen our spirituality. These moments of connection allow us to reflect on our lives, our struggles, and most importantly, on the blessings we receive. In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to forget the importance of pausing and directing our thoughts and feelings to Him. By establishing this practice, we create a sacred space where we can be authentic without masks, and where our concerns can be shared with the Father. In these moments, it is essential to give voice to our anxieties. Prayer allows us to externalize what is in our hearts, whether it be sadness, anxiety, or doubt. It is a time for us to be sincere, not only about what troubles us, but also about our hopes and dreams. When we open our hearts, we are embraced by a love that does not judge, but understands. God already knows our longings, but He desires for us to express them, thereby strengthening our relationship with Him. In doing so, we find relief and the assurance that we are not alone in our struggles. Amid tribulations, prayer becomes a refuge. It is a place where we can retreat from the noise of the world and seek the serenity that only He can offer. As we pour our concerns at the feet of the Lord, we find comfort and renewal. It is an act of faith that invites us to trust in divine providence, even when the situation seems challenging. By doing this, we develop a resilience that helps us face adversities with courage and hope. In addition to sharing our difficulties, it is equally important to express gratitude. The simple act of recognizing the blessings in our lives is transformative. When we give thanks, our perspective shifts, and we are able to see God's hand in every detail of our daily lives. This practice not only connects us to Him, but also helps us cultivate a contented heart. May we, in our prayers, not only ask, but also praise and acknowledge what we already have. Prayer is not a monologue, it is a dialogue. Just as we express our concerns and gratitude, we must be willing to listen. Often the answers we seek come in the form of a gentle whisper that guides us toward peace and clarity. It is in this space of listening that we find direction and discernment. May we be sensitive to the voice of God, allowing Him to guide us on our path, even when we do not fully understand what lies ahead. In moments of discouragement, it is crucial not to distance ourselves from prayer. On the contrary, we should draw even closer. The presence of God is a balm that heals the wounds of the soul. When we feel overwhelmed, He invites us to bring our burdens. It is in this embrace that we find the strength to continue. Let us remember that in every difficulty, He is by our side, ready to help us. The practice of prayer is a constant invitation to deepen our relationship with God. By forming this habit, we establish a solid foundation for our spiritual life. Each prayer becomes an opportunity to grow, to know ourselves better, and to connect more deeply with the Lord. May we cherish these moments and seek intimacy with our Creator, allowing Him to transform our lives from the inside out. I invite you to open your heart and allow the presence of God to change your story, that in surrendering in prayer, each may experience the peace that surpasses all understanding. As you approach the Lord, may your concerns be alleviated and may His light illuminate the path ahead. This is a call to the daily practice of prayer, where each of us can find refuge, hope, and renewal. May we commit to seeking God with fervor, knowing that He is always available to listen and guide us. Faith is a powerful instrument that opens doors to peace and prosperity in our lives. When we trust in God, we allow Him to enter our journey, guiding each step and bringing clarity to our decisions. This trust becomes a foundation that sustains us in difficult times, reminding us that we are not alone and that there is a divine purpose in every situation. By surrendering to His will, we find a path that leads us not only to happiness, but also to a life filled with meaning. Surrendering to God is an act of courage. Often, uncertainty causes us to hesitate, but when we choose to trust Him, we open the doors to possibilities that once seemed unattainable. This movement of surrender transforms our perspective, allowing us to see beyond difficulties and connect with a future full of hope. It is as if each prayer becomes a bridge, linking our hearts to the Father's designs, where the light of His wisdom illuminates our paths. When we are willing to trust in God, we are invited to live with a renewed sense of purpose. Each day presents us with the opportunity to commit to what truly matters. This dedication leads us to discover our talents and passions, guiding us toward a life that reflects divine love and goodness. It is in this space of surrender that we find the true meaning of happiness, which goes beyond circumstances and is rooted in a deep relationship with the Creator. The practice of prayer helps us cultivate this trust. By dedicating moments to connect with God, we allow Him to reveal our individual and collective purpose. This constant communication makes us more sensitive to His guidance. Through prayer, we learn to discern the whispers of the Holy Spirit, inspiring us to make decisions aligned with divine will. Each response received, each direction perceived, strengthens our faith and propels us forward with courage. Moreover, prayer is a source of encouragement and renewal. In times of weakness or doubt, when life feels heavy, seeking the presence of God revives us. He is our refuge, where we find not only comfort, but also the strength needed to continue. In these moments, we are reminded that even in storms, there is a greater plan at work. This vision encourages us to remain steadfast, knowing that divine intervention can change circumstances in surprising ways. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in our spiritual journey. By recognizing and thanking for the small and large blessings in our lives, we create an environment of positivity and hope. The practice of gratitude transforms our perspective, helping us to perceive God's goodness in all situations. This attitude of thankfulness leads us to a state of mind that attracts even more blessings and encourages us to share this light with others. As we deepen our prayer life, we begin to notice changes not only in ourselves, but also around us. Relationships become more harmonious, difficulties more manageable, and joy more palpable. This transformation is a clear demonstration of God's action in our lives, reaffirming that He is always present even when we cannot see Him. Intimacy with God is a constant invitation to explore more deeply the richness of His love and wisdom. This leads us to a virtuous cycle of faith, where trust is renewed and challenges become opportunities for growth. Each prayer becomes a chance to recognize the greatness of the Creator and the beauty of the plan He has for us. Thus, we move forward, willing to walk in His light, guided by the hope and purpose He offers us. Today, upon waking, my heart is filled with gratitude for the gift of a new day. With each dawn, I feel the beauty of creation manifesting around me, from the singing of the birds to the gentle breeze that caresses my face. This moment of renewal is a reminder of the divine love that permeates all things, an opportunity to start anew, to embrace the possibilities that life offers us. May I always recognize this wonder and live in harmony with the nature that surrounds me, admiring the Creator's work in every detail. Throughout this day, I humbly ask for renewed strength. May my inner energy be replenished, and may I find courage in the face of challenges that may arise. In moments of doubt or weakness, I wish for my faith to be strengthened, allowing me to face each situation with bravery and determination. May the divine light illuminate my path, guiding me in the decisions I need to make and helping me to remain steadfast in the purpose entrusted to me. Wisdom is a precious gift, and I sincerely seek discernment in my thoughts and actions. May I understand the teachings that life offers me, learning to act with prudence and compassion. I wish for my mind to open to the lessons that arise each day so that I can grow and evolve, becoming a reflection of divine love in all my interactions. May my words and actions be guided by wisdom from above, allowing me to be an instrument of peace and harmony. On this path of faith, I am invited to be an agent of love and kindness in the world. May my life reflect the values I wish to cultivate, and may I be able to touch the hearts of those who cross my path. May I be able to perceive the needs of others and act with generosity, expecting nothing in return. May each act of kindness be a seed planted, blossoming into a garden of hope and joy. May I not only receive love, but also share it, contributing to a gentler and more welcoming world. Reflecting on my journey, I wish for the light of compassion to guide me in all my actions. May I have the sensitivity to listen to those who suffer and to extend a hand to those in need of support. May my capacity to love be limitless, and may I see in every human being the image of the Creator. In every smile, in every tear, may I recognize the dignity of life and the beauty of the diversity that surrounds me. I am grateful for the opportunity to be part of this great divine plan, where each of us has an essential role. May I have the clarity to understand my contribution and the determination to fulfill it in the best way possible. May my heart always be open to the inspirations that come from above, and may I have the courage to follow the directions given to me, even when the path seems uncertain. In moments of uncertainty, I want to remember that I am not alone. The divine presence is a constant comfort, an anchor amid life's storms. May I always seek this closeness, allowing God's peace to dwell within me. May my prayer become a sincere dialogue, where I can express my concerns and at the same time hear the gentle voice of encouragement that comes from above. With gratitude in my heart, I wish to live each day with a new perspective, embracing the opportunities that arise and learning from the challenges I face. May my life be a testimony to the transformative power of love and faith, a reflection of the goodness I wish to see in the world. May I, with each step, be a shining light, guiding others on their own journeys, always seeking the harmony and peace that can only be found when we are in tune with the divine. Appreciating the beauty in God's creations is a daily exercise that invites us to look beyond the superficial. As I observe nature, the vibrant colors of the flowers or the vastness of the sky, I perceive the complexity and perfection of each detail. Each element, no matter how simple, carries a profound message about the love and intention of the Creator. May I always remember that every aspect of life has a purpose and that there is a divine reason behind every experience I encounter. Life in turn is full of ups and downs, and cultivating gratitude even in adversity is a practice that transforms our perspective. Facing challenges can be painful, but it is in these moments that we are called to discover our inner strengths. May I see each difficulty as an opportunity for learning, allowing pain and struggle to shape me for a stronger and more resilient future. May I thus be able to give thanks even for the difficult lessons, recognizing that they are part of my growth. The act of gratitude is not limited to visible blessings. It is also an exercise of faith. By recognizing the small miracles of everyday life, such as a friendly smile or an unexpected act of kindness, my gratitude expands. In this process, I invite reflection on what truly matters, seeking to value the experiences and people around me. May I keep an open heart, ready to recognize every act of love and generosity offered to me, as they are reflections of the divine in my life. Recognizing blessings also involves a shift in focus. When we concentrate on the good things, even in difficult times, our energy transforms. May I, instead of succumbing to discouragement, direct my thoughts to the blessings that still exist. With each dawn, may I reinforce my commitment to gratitude, allowing it to become a constant in my life, illuminating even the cloudiest days. Furthermore, it is essential that this gratitude translates into actions. May I not only feel grateful, but also strive to give back, contributing to the well-being of others. Every act of generosity, no matter how small, is a way to express my appreciation for the gifts I receive. May I seek opportunities to serve, to help, and to support, always remembering that true gratitude is manifested in how we treat those around us. As part of this journey, it is crucial to remember that compassion and empathy are key components of gratitude. By putting myself in someone else's shoes, I can understand their struggles and challenges, which strengthens my desire to help. May I always be attentive to the needs around me, looking for ways to offer my support and love. This human connection is a powerful way to acknowledge that we are all interconnected and that the blessings I receive should be shared. When difficulties arise, may I maintain serenity and faith. Gratitude is not the absence of problems, but a choice of how to respond to them. May I find comfort in the certainty that even in storms, there is a light that can guide me. In this pursuit of inner peace, may I remember that each challenge can be an opportunity for growth, and that in the end, all experiences have a greater purpose. The practice of gratitude is therefore an invitation to live with intention and presence. May I commit to being aware of the blessings that surround me, whether they are big or small. By adopting this mindset, my life transforms into a testimony of the abundance that exists in every moment, even in the simplest ones. Thus, I will be able to cultivate a grateful spirit that shines and touches the lives of others around me. Placing my anxieties and challenges in God's hands is an act of surrender that brings me relief and hope. By letting go of these worries, I recognize that I am not alone and that there is a greater plan for my life. May I fully trust in divine wisdom, knowing that every situation I face is an opportunity to strengthen my faith and understanding. By setting aside the weight of uncertainty, may I find peace and serenity, allowing trust in God to illuminate my path. In moments when difficult decisions arise, may I seek the Lord's guidance. The wisdom that comes from Him is essential to discern what is right and just. May I hear His voice amid the noise of the world, and may my heart be open to receive the necessary direction. May this clarity help me act with courage and determination, always aligned with the principles He establishes. The protection of my loved ones is a constant concern in my heart. May I place each of them under His care, trusting that God is always vigilant and attentive to their needs. As I pray for them, may I feel a deeper connection, understanding that divine love surrounds and supports them. May this protection be a safe haven where they can find comfort and strength in times of difficulty. It is vital for me to recognize that life is a shared journey. With every step I take, may I be aware that the challenges faced by those I love also affect me. May I be a firm support, offering my love and encouragement. May I seek ways to be present, even in small things, so that they feel they are not alone in their struggles. In addition, may I remember that intercession is a powerful way to express my love and care. By praying for others, may I be aware of the impact this can have on their lives. May I be an instrument of peace, bringing hope to those who feel lost or discouraged. May my words and actions reflect God's light, bringing comfort and motivation to those in need. When uncertainties pile up and fear tries to overwhelm me, may I find strength in prayer and meditation. May these moments of connection help me center my thoughts and renew my courage. May I remember that no challenge is too great to be overcome through faith. May this practice become a refuge amid life's storms. The quest for wisdom also extends to the relationships I build. May I be a reflection of God's love in daily interactions, fostering understanding and empathy. In every conversation, may I strive to listen more and speak less, allowing the other person's voice to be heard and valued. May this strengthen the bonds I have with those I love, creating an environment where everyone feels safe and supported. When situations become complicated, may I remember that patience is a virtue to be cultivated. May I have the serenity needed to wait for divine timing, knowing that everything happens according to a greater purpose. May this waiting not be a burden, but an opportunity for growth and learning, allowing each day to bring new lessons and experiences. Intercession is not just a request, it is an act of love that transcends words. May I always remember to include in my prayers those who are in difficult situations, asking the Lord to grant them strength and hope. May my concern transform into action, seeking practical ways to help and support. May I be a channel of blessings, reflecting the grace and goodness I receive daily. May I remain steadfast in the certainty that by surrendering my anxieties and challenges, I am allowing God to work in my life and in the lives of those I love. May this trust become an unshakable foundation where I can always return, knowing that divine presence is constant and comforting. May I move forward, open to the possibilities that arise, trusting in the wisdom that comes from above. Keeping prayer as a daily habit is an invitation to personal transformation. This practice, when incorporated into daily routine, not only strengthens the mind, but also nourishes the spirit. By dedicating time to connect with God, one can experience an inner growth that transcends everyday difficulties. This moment of reflection and surrender allows the soul to calm, promoting a sense of well-being that permeates all aspects of life. Furthermore, daily prayer acts as a link that reinforces faith and spiritual connection. Every time I turn to prayer, I am reaffirming my commitment to spirituality. This intentional act of seeking the divine presence reminds me that faith is not just a belief, but a daily experience. By creating this sacred space, I am cultivating an intimate relationship with God, which becomes a support during times of uncertainty and challenge. In this context, spiritual communion with others also becomes essential. Sharing moments of prayer with family, friends, or faith groups enriches the spiritual experience. These interactions create an environment of mutual support where everyone can find encouragement and inspiration. When we unite our voices in prayer, collective strength manifests, bringing a sense of belonging and solidarity that is deeply comforting. The quest for divine guidance during prayer also stands out as a fundamental aspect. When I face dilemmas, it is in prayer that I find clarity and discernment. This practice helps me navigate the complexities of life, allowing me to listen to the inner voice guiding my decisions. By opening myself to this wisdom, I can act with more confidence and assertiveness, always seeking what is just and true. Prayer is not only a moment of surrender, but also one of gratitude. When reflecting on the blessings received, I'm reminded of God's generosity in my life. This attitude of gratitude transforms my perspective, making me see difficulties in a new light. By giving thanks, I create a cycle of positivity that extends to others, fostering an environment of love and recognition. The practice of prayer also provides a space for self-knowledge. By dedicating moments to introspection, I am led to confront my own weaknesses and limitations. This honesty with oneself is a crucial step for personal growth. In prayer, I can ask for strength to overcome adversities and wisdom to learn from each experience, allowing transformation to manifest in my being. Another important dimension of prayer is intercession. Praying for others not only demonstrates love, but also recognizes the interconnectedness among us all. This practice helps me set aside my own concerns, broadening my focus to the well-being of those around me. By interceding, I become a channel of hope, contributing to the healing and restoration of lives around me. Prayer in community also has a transformative power. Participating in services, prayer groups, or spiritual retreats creates an atmosphere conducive to collective growth. These shared experiences strengthen bonds and create a sense of belonging that nurtures the soul. Mutual support and shared experiences promote a fertile environment for the development of faith. It is important to emphasize that prayer should not be seen as a mere routine, but as an act of surrender and trust. Every moment dedicated to prayer is an opportunity for renewal. By committing to this practice, I open space for God to work in my life in ways that I often cannot comprehend. This surrender brings a deep relief, allowing my mind and heart to calm, even in times of turbulence. Finally, prayer invites us to live with purpose. By seeking God's will, I am challenged to align my actions with the values He teaches. This constant search for meaning in daily life helps me cultivate a fuller and more meaningful life. By committing to prayer, I am not only seeking answers, but also making myself available to be an instrument of love and compassion, reflecting divine light in every interaction. The spiritual journey is enriched when we allow ourselves to reflect on the importance of God's presence in our lives. Each of us is invited to dive into moments of silence and contemplation, where we can hear the gentle voice of the Creator. These pauses become precious, as they help us discern not only our needs, but also the greater purpose that envelops us. The continuous quest for divine presence transforms us, shaping our character and directing our actions. By sharing this message, I encourage you to carry this reflection forward. Sharing experiences and insights about the power of prayer can inspire others to also commit to this practice. Every story told and every testimony shared enriches the community, creating a fabric of faith that strengthens with each new interaction. May we be channels of transformation, bringing the light of spirituality to those around us. Daily prayer is not just an individual practice, it becomes a chain of support when we unite our hearts in search of God. Together, we can create an environment where prayer becomes a reflection of the love and compassion we wish to see in the world. By praying for our brothers and sisters, we not only strengthen our bonds, but also contribute to building a more supportive and loving society. It is essential that we keep prayer as a priority in our lives. Upon waking and before sleeping, when facing challenges and celebrating achievements, may we remember to seek the divine presence. Daily prayer gives us a sense of direction and purpose, helping us align our actions with God's will. This continuous practice transforms us, allowing the peace that surpasses all understanding to guard our hearts and minds. I encourage you to cultivate a constant prayer habit where gratitude and intercession intertwine. By thanking for the blessings received and crying out for those in need of support, you become part of a movement of hope. Do not underestimate the power of your words. Each prayer is a seed planted in the soil of faith that can bear fruit in unimaginable ways. This quest should be ongoing. Throughout the day, find small moments to connect with God, whether through a brief prayer, a meditation, or a simple thought of gratitude. These sacred interruptions in our daily routine can bring about surprising renewal and remind us of the constant presence of the divine in every detail of our lives. Allow prayer to be a beacon that lights your way. As you open yourself to this experience, you will discover that you are not alone, for God is always present, ready to listen and guide. May this journey of seeking the divine presence become an essential part of who you are, reflecting in your actions and decisions, and may you never cease to share this light with the world around you. May this message resonate in your heart and inspire you to incorporate prayer into your daily life. Every step taken toward the presence of God brings with it a new perspective of hope and love. As you go about your day, carry with you the certainty that your words and intentions have the power to transform not only your life, but also the lives of those who cross your path. If you felt touched by this reflection, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Join us in a community where faith and spirituality are celebrated daily. Leave your like, share your experiences, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any content that can further enrich your spiritual journey. Remember, prayer is a light that shines in times of darkness. May you be that light, radiating hope and love wherever you go. Together, let's enthusiastically seek the divine presence and spread this message of faith and transformation. May God bless your journey.